All right. Well, Alex, thanks for joining us. We know each other already, so I'll let you do a quick intro, and then I'd love a kind of crash course of your career. Get us into unsexy businessmen. We work with a lot of business owners. We want to kind of give them some additional tools, tips, and tricks, and then we'll get into kind of the marketing side of things.
Okay,
Here
awesome.
at Greenhouse, that's what we do.
Man, first off, Greenhouse is awesome. Just want to throw that out there. Some of the best students come from Greenhouse. So any business that's listening to this, you should already know who Greenhouse is if you're listening to this, but start hiring the students. Stop just supporting it by listening to the podcast. Start hiring the students because that's the best thing you can do. Anyways, end of plug. Yeah, so I'm Alex Skinner. I'm digital marketing, graduated from BYU back in like 2015, 2016, 10 years ago, whatever. And then I went to RPA, a traditional agency out in Santa Monica, California, which was a blast. Santa Monica, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd still be there. Gorgeous, weather's awesome. But I didn't like the cost of living. And so after doing that's where I kind of got my feet wet in digital marketing. I did some basic, like looking back on it, I thought I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a web dev. I'm doing web dev stuff. But like looking back, it's like, you're just like changing copy on a website. And then I moved back to Utah, interviewed at 97th floor, intern, digital marketing specialist, campaign manager, account director, vice president of client operations. I was then let go from 97th floor, crossroads in my life. Yeah. I talked with my brother, like, I know that we talked about doing an agency a few years ago. Why don't we just do that again? My brother and I partnered, started Keystone Digital Services, and everything's history from there. How do you say, what's that phrase? And it was all, sorry, I'm wasting everybody's time right now. Can somebody, whoever's listening, comment? And it's all history from there is not the phrase I'm looking for. And then my brother and I started a bunch of other business ventures off of the money that we were making at Keystone, which is why I'm a huge proponent of being an entrepreneur, because it allows you to do so many other things. We started Unsexy Businessmen. We started Spill USA, which is a hazmat cleanup company.
Awesome.
Helping anyone who has fuel, blood, whatever it is, cleaning those things up as efficiently and effective as possible. So that's the TLDR of the last 10 years of Alex Skinner. And it's been an absolute blast.
That's awesome. And tell us a little more about Unsexy Businessman, because we've got a lot of business owners. Some of them have, one trick pony. This is what they do. That's their whole thing. Some of them are serial entrepreneurs, kind of like yourself. Tell us a little bit about how you got that going and what it does today.
Unsexy Businessman was born from my brother's experience creating a janitorial cleaning service. That it was exactly what it was. Like our big thing, I'm not going to swear on this podcast, but like he cleaned crap and made millions of dollars, essentially is like the story. So he went from startup, scale up to sell within an 8-year span. And then essentially what we want to do with Unsexy Businessmen was help people avoid the mistakes that he made so that they could get to that sale or scale up, like whatever.
Yeah.
Some people are happy like doing it for the rest of their life, which is awesome.
Right.
Some people want their exit.
Yeah.
So helping people get to that scale up and exit so they can have essentially freedom. Like what Unsexy Businessman ultimately is we give you freedom, the freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do with your time. And that's a big thing. Back when I was teaching at Mountainland Technical College, a big thing that with my students was, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. All that I want is like, are you generally happy most of the time in your life doing the things that you want to do? And Unsexy Businessmen is like for the entrepreneurs who are like, I want to not be a W-2 anymore. Yeah. I don't want to have to be beholden to anybody except for myself, which is scary, but shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. And on a personal note, I've felt that many times of like, do I jump into my own thing? Do I keep going the W-2 route? I'm a pansy, apparently, because I'm still doing the W-2 route for now. But hey, someday I'm going to be smart like Mr. Skinner over here and go that route.
Well, I don't like, you're not a pansy. I want to make sure it's very, very clear. Like the only reason I fell into entrepreneurship, getting let go, I often compare it to anyone who's seen Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. Have you seen it?
Yes.
The very end of the movie where he's doing the leap of faith thing that they have him do. Instead of him taking that step, I was pushed off.
Mm-hmm.
And so by being pushed off, I had to figure out how to fly or I was going to hit the ground. So mine was more of a survival mechanism than it was like, oh, look at me. I'm the least afraid person in the world, like doing this thing. But then once you start doing it, you realize like,
it's not as scary.
oh my gosh, this like, and the more dependence you have, the scarier it is. You have kids, you have a mortgage, you have whatever it is, you start to get a little bit timid. Because you're just like, well, I need to make sure I keep all of these things
have to keep these safe.
that I already
have. These responsibilities,
so I'm very happy that I got pushed off the cliff, and I'm very happy with the direction that everything has gone up until this point. Because at the end of the day, what I often say to anyone, especially people who get fired or let go or laid off from their jobs, whatever it is, like good people always find a way. So I know it's super scary at first. Where it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You'll figure it out. If you're a good person, like I've talked to so many people who've been let go. There's been so many layoffs over the last 5-10 years. They always figure out a way. Like you're going to be fine. So I just want you to know that's my 5-minute monologue, everybody. You're not a pansy. I just want everyone to know Jordan's not a pansy.
I feel so much better.
Hashtag.
I feel so much better now. No, I love it though. So we have a lot of business owners. Some of them maybe are worried about scale. They've got profit, right? Like, which is the first step, right? You go from having idea, having clients to now, okay, I've got some money in the bank. Let's talk through like a growth strategy. What is that going to look like? What are some things that they need to think about and consider? You know, unsexy business. I'm unveiling like, some secrets.
No.
Give me the tip of the iceberg, not the whole juicy.
That's the irony. Like my brother and I are doing this. Like, there's no secrets. Like everyone thinks that they have. I do that. We have a secret. I got a secret that only you can hear. Like, no, there is no secret. Like, literally, it is. All of the information is out there. Yeah. Are you good with people? If you are good with people, you're going to be fine. That's going to be hiring. That's going to be working with clients. Do you have one of two things? Do you have a good accountant? Or do you have an eye for accounting? We hire out accountants because we want to spend our time growing our businesses, working with clients and working with our employees. I think those are the most important things. It's like, are you good with people? And do you have a good accountant or financial basis? There's a lot of other so like going over like growth strategy, how we've gone about growing Keystone primarily has been just network. Like all of the people that you know, so going back to people, all of these people that you know, and making sure they know what it is that you do in life. Like you'd be blown away. I should just send you the screenshots of the number of people who I just keep in contact with. And it's like, hey, you know what? We're rethinking our marketing strategy, like literally Monday. Super stoked on it. Literally on Monday. Hey, we're considering changing our entire marketing department in 2026. I loved working with you. What can you do for us? And that's me just making sure I'm keeping in contact with these people and then they reach out to me. For a lot of the businesses that we deal with, though, in unsexy businessmen, you're going to have like your carpet cleaners.
Yeah.
Very basic automations. That's going to save you a lot of time, whether that be automating for scheduling or automation for repeat customers.
Yeah.
Where I see
where
I see a lot of small businesses like that. So let's use carpet cleaning, plumbing. You do have to I don't like using plumbing as an example because you do
repeat. Yeah.
Well, it's more because you have to get certifications for that. With Unsexy Businessmen, we're trying to do as many unskilled laborers that don't require certification. So car detailing, like whatever it is. Making sure those people remember who you are. So the next time that they go to look for a car detailer, to look for a carpet cleaner, a janitorial cleaner, they're already very, very aware of who you are because you're following up with them regularly. Those are like the two things. And then manual, going back to like the automating it. So many people want to handle the calls themselves, don't want to hire anybody, and then don't have the necessary marketing automation set up. I'm thinking very specifically of a carpet cleaning company that we work with where like that's our push right now. I was like, we got to start doing SMS. It's going to cost us $30 a month. We just get one person to close because we are following up with these people. Bada bing, bada boom, we're now a multi-million-dollar company instead of $1 million company.
Yeah.
So those would be my things in terms of like growth for unsexy businesses. It's
recurring revenue is key.
Be good with people. Yeah. Trust your people that you hire and start automating as many processes. It's so easy now with AI. Like I hate being like the AI guy. AI is not this. this isn't the cure for cancer. This isn't the thing that's like solves all of our ilks as humans, but it makes things a lot easier to run. Keystone could not have grown. Keystone's a more sexy business because it's marketing, but Keystone could not have grown at the scale that we have without using automation processes primarily built by AI. And so for unsexy businesses, start familiarizing yourself with it. There's a Tony Robbins thing. I'm not a huge Tony Robbins fan. Not a huge Tony Robbins fan that I saw where he is. I'm going to teach you guys. Perfect, Toby Robinson. Tony Robbins. I'm going to teach you guys how to use AI. I'm like, oh, you, Tony Robbins, now know AI the best? But it's because he knows if he isn't giving people this message, they will figure it out themselves. And then he won't be able to monetize off of it. So whenever I see these gurus talking about a specific thing, it means you need to start familiarizing yourself with it, or else they're going to try to be like, I'm the one who can teach you how to do it. So I'm all over there. I'm all over the place with like strategy and growth, but there are very easy paths for all of these companies where it's be really good with people, automate your processes, and I'm adding this third thing, adding AI to help automate those processes. Just start practicing with it.
Yeah, I mean, like simple systems, repeatability. That's when you think of a business, right? Like it's all about, can I do this same thing, same quality over again and again, and then remove myself, right? So it's like
standard operating procedures.
Yeah,
I totally blanked on what we were talking about. Like that is actually, so like when I'm talking about automation and making things simplified,
it doesn't mean
what you said.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows like, hey, this is exactly how we do everything every single time. And then you're no longer an employee, you're a business owner.
Ooh, that is a good breaking point then. So it's like, do you feel like there's a number of systems where it's like, I can remove myself and things can run on their own? Which one do you prefer to say, like, this is when you can call yourself a business owner? It's like repeatability, or like you don't have to be there for a week.
Some people have they're like, oh, if you can't be around for 2 weeks, or if you're gone for 2 weeks and your systems break down, that means that you're still an employee. I'm a little bit, I think you could extend that a little bit, like probably like to 3 weeks or 4 weeks. If something breaks down, like within a month's time, you're definitely still an employee. But yeah, I'm more of that. Like, can you remove yourself from the situation and things still function? If the answer is yes, you now own a business. Yeah. You own something that can be sold.
Yeah.
If you can't, so for example, if you remove yourself from a certain situation and you cannot sell to somebody, it means that you were an employee that entire time.
Yeah.
A very well-paid employee.
Yeah.
But
still not a bad thing.
Yeah. Like if your goal is to make money, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what my opinion of a business is or an employee is. Like just, oh yeah, I wanted to make a bunch of money and I did. Great.
Win.
Happy day. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's mad about making a ton of money?
I hate, because like sometimes I feel like I come across like pretty dogmatic, where I'm just like very binary, like A and B. It's A and B. Like I understand there's like a whole spectrum
are gray areas
to like what you want. And it all comes back to what those goals are and are you achieving those goals?
Yeah, and I mean, like from a personal perspective, I think my life goal, we'll call it instead of career goal, is like that you can't, like, I'd love to own a handful of businesses so that I can be involved or not involved as much as I want. I'm not the guy that's going to retire and just golf every day forever and never touch anything that's of value. You know what I mean? Like,
because you'll die.
It was like emotionally.
Well, like I'm making up something right now. Just this is an Alex making up a stat. People after they retire have a much higher likelihood of dying. And so those people who like I know they're like, well, yeah, probably because people are retiring in like their 70s and 80s, Alex, duh. But no, it's because
it's a true fact. Look it up.
What I mean,
Jamie,
can
pull it up on the screen.
Can somebody go look up like what I mean by this is like you have to have like a purpose. And so, for example, I remember I was talking with this guy. He's like, yeah, my dad's retired. And like now he's selling stuff on eBay. Like he thinks he's like whatever. I'm like, he found his purpose. He's retired, but he is still doing something that is allowing him to grow. So that's more of what I'm talking about. Like you can retire officially and still have things that you are putting time into. But I'm so scared. I hope a lot of people listen. I love getting negative comments because that's all that there seems to be anymore. But
it's all just for the algorithm.
It's
that algorithm.
Mad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's comments are comments. Yeah. Give me the engagement. I'm not mad about it.
But to your point about retiring, like just having all of these things, like I think we're very similar in that.
Yeah.
Like there's never going to be a time where I'm like,
I sit on a couch all day and
or even
veg out.
yeah, and sit on a beach all day.
Yeah, either one.
Yeah, either one. Where it's
Sound
just like
just as boring.
one of two. Like at some point, you're going to get bored not doing stuff.
Yeah.
You and I, like, there may be people like, no, I could do that for forever. I'm just like,
Couldn't
good
do it.
luck. For me, I don't know what it
My
is.
brain
I
would
do
rot
know what
away.
it is. I love my bed. My bed is so comfortable, and like no matter where I travel, there's nothing that beats my bed. So, anyways, that should be have that be a cutout video.
Is
It's gonna be a great breakout video right there. Alex talking about how much he loves sleeping in his bed.
now we got to go down the sponsor path. Is it purple? Is
We-
it who's
Dude,
going to be the
oh my-
want to be a sponsor?
I don't even remember. I like it's one of those like types of brands, but it's neither of those two. Nectar. It's Nectar.
Nectar.
Are they even in business anymore?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Only
If
good
they
news.
are, they can sponsor us. We'll let them.
Please-
We will let you.
Actually, please sponsor the unsexy businessman first. Screw Greenhouse. Please help the unsexy businessman.
Well, you know, we can go. We can work out a negotiation.
We can work
group
together.
Deal.
Yeah.
Group deal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
deal.
We'll talk about common mistakes like trying to hijack someone's sponsor for their podcast for your own podcast. What other mistakes do you find businesses making on a common a regular basis?
It's almost always not hiring fast enough or financially related. That's why I say this is fresh on our mind because we just did a podcast with our CPA yesterday where we went over like, so what are the most common mistakes that people make? And just getting very, very specific, separating business finance from personal finance is the thing that we see most often where it's like, oh, I bought this on my personal credit card. And like, all right, so now what are you going to do? Have everything separate as much as possible. And then what was the first thing I mentioned was not hiring fast enough, like be out of greed. Because like, oh, like if I have to hire someone, I'm going to have to pay them $20 an hour. And then now I'm losing $120 a day, $140 a day, when in reality, that's going to allow you to scale faster. Like one of the companies I work with, very, very small part owner of, was like, you just got to hire more people. It's like, well, I can do it. Like I can do it. I'm like, I know that you can, but if we could get more and more vans running,
right,
and we have enough people who want it, like the number of people we have to turn down is just a good indicator that we should probably be hiring. We're losing all this work. And what I think people forget, this goes back to the automation process. If you have a repeat style of business, one person, the lifetime value of them, who knows? Who knows? Like if they love you and they're getting, let's just use carpet cleaning again, and the average carpet cleaning job, let's say, is $200. You miss out on that person that one time, but they were going to be a client for the next 20 years. Is that $4,000? Anybody know?
Just two times
I
a
think
year.
I think it's $4,000.
How many are they?
Oh yeah, so then it'd be $8,000. So that's one person. You just lost $8,000. So you're like, I don't want to hire someone new. I bet you that you could cover a salary for $8,000 pretty quick with that one
per
person.
Customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So not hiring fast enough, and then also on the opposite side of that, hiring too fast. Like there's a lot of people who think that they're never going to have to work or do anything. Like I'm just going to get people and they're like going to do it. You need to build out those processes or bring that person on as a partner and make sure that you guys know what your responsibilities are. But those, I would say those are the most common things.
Out of
financial
curiosity,
and then hiring.
Do you think that the hiring piece is more about I can do it better and make more money, or is it more about just the money side, right? So is it like
both?
It's kind
of
married?
Scared that quality is going to be worse, which that means that you're not hiring well and don't have processes, your standard operating procedures set up properly so that they can execute on it. And then, it's a little bit of the greed. It's like, because how terrible is it to be paying someone who's doing crappy work? So if both of those things end up happening, you're like, told you, we shouldn't have been hiring. Now we lost this one customer because of this crazy person. That's why I say hiring people
is
and
a people skill.
Managing your finances are like the two biggest things that people struggle with. But I would say it's both of those things.
And I know you and I have worked with a lot of large businesses. Right now we're talking unsexy businesses, carpet cleaning, all that. How much difference do you feel like there is between very large corporate businesses? Because definitely there's going to be some differences, right? But it's like, I would say a lot of business mistakes do kind of fall into those two things. probably more often when it's the corporate side, it's less about financial, although it oftentimes is. Like that's why layoffs happen, is mismanagement of money or people. And more often it's like poor hiring, poor training. Do you feel like there's anything else that's different on
Yeah.
corporate?
Board of directors versus LLC owner. Like, because then you do have this cabal above you who like decides what you can and cannot do with your money. And maybe you're part of that board, but you're still sharing it. Exactly. You're 1/5, 1/6, whatever the number might be, depending on how many people are in your board. And then the other thing too, depending on the national brand, right? Or large corporation brand. A lot of the things that I have worked with are just more easily scalable at a national or global scale. So for example, like SaaS.
Yep.
If you have a product that essentially needs an internet connection, you're now connected to the entire world. Whereas if you are a carpet cleaner, I'm not saying you can't create franchises and break off, which I've worked with a number of those brands as well.
It's a different beast.
It's going to take going to be a lot harder. Lot harder to do that.
Your SOPs have to be 20 times more ironclad.
Perfect. Just think of like Crumble. If we're going to like, not to, I don't know, if like I feel like the cookie wars ended 3 years ago. So like we're all good now and we've gotten over it. But like, just look at like Crumble God, I feel so bad doing this. Crumble versus Chip. Chip started before Crumble.
Yep.
But what was the difference between Chip and Crumble? They standardized and made their processes so perfect. I'm not saying that their cookies are perfect. So perfect that it became this. I think they're valued at like in the billions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
And then Chip, awesome cookie, love it. I think they may have been a client of one of my account managers. Nowhere near as large, but and like, I'm not saying. And I hate when I do
first
this.
Isn't always best, right?
Well, but I also don't want it to sound like Crumble did a better job. Because I don't mean that. I don't necessarily. No. I don't know what Crumble's goals were, and I don't know what Chip's goals were.
Yeah. If
Chip's goals were to become a national or multinational company,
they failed.
Bad job. You failed. But if they're like, no, we want to be a family-run business that is just making money, you guys did an awesome job. You did a great job. Like, I hate that. That's the only reason I hate giving examples like that at times is because just because one is now valued at $1 billion doesn't make it better necessarily. Mm-hmm. I think that's...
Some people definitely are richer. I will say that.
Right.
Better? Maybe not.
It's the capitalist society we live in where it's like the more you have, like somehow the better you are. But I think we've seen time and time again that's not always the case. I think there are great billionaires. Yeah. How do we get on this? I think there are. It's because you asked me about big companies. But anyways, the difference between the small businesses and then larger corporations is, generally speaking,
scalability. Yeah.
How fast it's going to be. They're just like, oh, like there's like a part of it like, Jeff Bezos, I'm so mad at you, Jeff Bezos, that you
if I can just go millions of jobs.
If I can go on like a really quick rant, like you can't hate billionaires that have like, oh, I can't believe this person's making $50,000 and Jeff Bezos is worth $1 trillion. I'm just like, he has made 1 million people $40,000 a year. Do you know how insane that is?
Yeah.
I have thought about that, like with our small team of less than 10 people, where I'm just like, I'm responsible for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, is so daunting and terrifying, but awesome at the same time. Like, that is incredibly impressive. And because I just remember talking to one of my friends who was just like, I don't think there should be billionaires. I'm just like, the way that you have to look at it is not that this guy is like he doesn't have $1 trillion, by the way.
No,
he doesn't have $1 trillion. He is valued at $1 trillion. All assets that he has. So that includes Amazon. Like, that's insane. That is
bonkers.
I'm just incredibly impressed by it because I'm just like, how do you do that? I'd love to get there someday, but
dude,
I don't. It's, once again, it is standard operating procedures.
Not in my goals at all.
But like going back to like the mistakes that people make, like the big difference between Jeff Bezos and the guy whose company failed is Jeff Bezos kept going.
Yeah.
Like more often than not, there's once again, I'm going to make up a stat here where it's like in 90%, 95%, go look it up. I'm not going to do the work here.
Jamie, pull it up.
95% of businesses fail within 5 years.
Ooh.
And I think it's because people give up. Yep. Like the number of people, like, do you know how many times I wanted to quit Keystone? Do you know how hard it is running an agency and scaling it?
Yeah.
And how frustrating it can be working with certain clients and like In digital marketing, things change constantly all the time.
You're evolving daily.
I have wanted to quit every day. No, I was kidding. I wanted to quit so many times. And then you keep going. It's like, oh my gosh, we went from $5,000 a month to 12. Now we're at 30. Now we're at 4. And like that number just keeps going up. You're like, and you just keep going and you just keep going. And then all of the opportunities that revenue has allowed us to do for our other ventures, are all of them going to work? I don't know. But I know that I'm not going to give up on them because I've already seen with this specific example, as you keep on going, things start to happen. I don't know if you've like seen this in your life. I have friends who are like, oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur. And like, dude, you started a company.
No focus. Yeah.
You started a company that you tried for 2 weeks. And then you're like, oh, this is too hard. We shouldn't allow those people to put their name on the entrepreneurial, like they should not be allowed to call themselves entrepreneurs. If you haven't tried for at least a year, you're not an entrepreneur.
No.
I'm sorry. Like, oh, I started my business and it only lasts for 6 months. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. You did not start a business. If you can't get past a year, you're just a quitter.
Yeah. a quitter that made a little bit of money.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Not always.
Hopefully.
Not always.
Hopefully.
Yeah. True.
Just keep going, everybody. Like, I didn't want that to come across negative. Like, honestly, just keep going. Like, just don't give up.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the movie Rudy? I know that guy's crazy, but like, oh gosh, but have you seen it? Like, he just kept going. That guy just kept going. Just keep going.
Break into some, college facility places so you can sleep at night.
I know. I was just like, I don't know.
Wait a second.
I don't know the legality of any of that, but hey.
Eventually the guy left the key. So, hey, legal in my opinion.
Got on the field. Don't know how accurate the movie is, but I know he for sure got on the field.
Yeah. I think getting back to kind of where we were with all of that it's the scalability, right? We talked about chip and crumble. I like to tell our students of like, you can't win the game unless you know what game you're playing, right? So it's like, if multi, national brand is the goal, know what game you're playing, make your decisions accordingly, make your SOPs accordingly, create the automations and the personalization that exists on even the worst CRMs nowadays is phenomenal. And you can kind of create things using AI to help you, right? Like, you don't have to do it alone anymore. My parents ran a lawn care business when I was growing up, right? And like, they did okay. I think they broke even a couple times. They ended up selling the business, right? Because my dad worked full time. My mom was raising 4 kids. And it was like, they managed a handful of college students that would mow lawns in the summer. But like, I talked to my mom. She's like, well, I had to call every single customer. We had to have everything on paper. We had paper receipts. We had to file our tag. They talk about the nightmare it was of running a business back then. And my wife and I ran a few small businesses here and there. And it's like, everything's on digital. Like, we don't have anything on paper. Everything's digital. If I have to print something, it's a pain in the butt. And I'm like, can you imagine if I had to print all of this every time? Can you imagine if I had to do all of this physically every time? If I had to type out every email? Like, I remember the worst part at 97th Floor was client recap emails. And I'm just like, I cannot tell you how many of my hours of my life have been wasted thinking about how to say something
that they didn't care about,
that they didn't even read, man. Right. Like, they didn't even read it. And it wasn't even that it was hard to write or that I don't like writing, which I don't love it, but it was getting the idea and being like, okay, how do I formulate? All of that can be done with AI now, right? So it's like, scalability is all about standard operating procedures, automation so that you don't have to do the same thing over and over again. And all of that is like a couple clicks of a button now. Like, we live in an amazing time to start anything new. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
And I push that to, I don't teach anymore, but I would push that to my students so much where I'm just like, you have no idea.
What opportunity.
And I think the hard thing too, I don't know if UVU is like this. BYU kind of was, but not super like this. But the great lie of do something you love, I would just change to do something you're good at. Yeah. Like I would tell my students, like, do you think I love digital marketing? No, I grew up like every other kid. You know what I loved? I love sports and I love music. I did not become a musician. I did not become a professional athlete, but I was really good at digital marketing.
Yeah.
I was really good at, and the part I do like about digital marketing that I also hate is the gamification of it, where it's just like, this is an algorithm that just changed. What do we do now that the algorithm is this way? So I'm just going to plead with you guys, don't do something that you love, because then you'll start to hate that thing. Do something you're good at or can get good at or learn really, really quickly, and start doing it on your own when you have no dependents.
Yep.
Like if you aren't married, if you don't have kids, well, my favorite story. Wish I could remember the name of the company. This is why you automate your processes.
This is why you write
But
down your meeting notes.
19-year-old kid detailed my car. This was right when we were starting Unsexy Businessmen. And so it's very much on the mind. I'm like, how much money are you doing here? He's like, I'm doing about like $20,000 a month. I'm like, do you have any employees? He's like, no. I'm just like, all right, so 240,000. I'm taking home like $180,000, $170,000 a year at 19. I was like, are you thinking about expanding? He's like, I think at the time he had like 80 5-star reviews and like he's doing fantastic. He's like, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but like, I just don't know like how to expand. So I gave him some of my local SEO tips. I'm just like, set up a new location, have that be where like the person is. Like you'll have this. Yeah, you'll be here. Your new van will be there. I haven't followed up with him, but that story is primarily from the standpoint of 19-year-old kid, $240,000 car detailing. And I asked him, what got you into this? He's like, it just looked easy to do. Just like, wonderful.
Amazing.
Go do that thing. Congratulations. And that was probably like a year and a half ago. And I can only imagine, I should call him up, be like, so what are you doing now? If it's based on normal like growth patterns of businesses, year 1, year 2, year 3, he should be to about $500,000 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably approaching the $1 million mark.
Gosh.
Wild.
Do it, students. Figure something like if you are good with people, which this kid was, and you can provide the service well enough, you can do anything. Like anything.
Yeah.
I really believe
Great
that.
point. You know what? We're wrapping it up right there. No, I'm just kidding. Good point to like just go do it, right? Like Nike got it right. And that's why it's such a good tagline. It's like you just have to go try.
Well, and I don't want to put you on the spot here, Jordan, but like,
oh no, here we go.
With your students, I don't even know if this is your problem necessarily, or like you just have to do this. Like, I would assume your prerogative is get students jobs.
Yeah.
How much can you push them to like? Greenhouse is right next to the entrepreneurship thing here. Like, how much can you push them, or do you push them towards entrepreneurship? Like, you now have them. If you have marketing skills and you can learn how to car detail, do you know you'll be way better than that kid who I had to give? Like, sorry. Yeah. So I have the habit of asking questions and then talking on top of it. So I apologize. But yeah, like, what do you guys do?
Yeah. Here? So my goal is to get them somewhere better first, and you can always fall back on the skills that we give you. Maybe I should switch that, but that's kind of how we've looked at it. Is success at Greenhouse will be like we can get our students placed in jobs making 70 to 80 instead of 40 to 50. But if we can get them placed making 70 to 80 in their own business, right? The goal is that they don't just come to college to get a piece of paper, because too many people are doing that. It's that you come here to get a skill set, and then you can take that skill set with you wherever you decide to go. A lot of students, they're like, I want to go start an agency. And I was like, great, you're my competition now. Don't tell your boss that ever again. But at the same time, I'm like, great, like, how do we get you going? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to close clients? Because I do that here.
Right.
You don't do that. And so I kind of like help highlight the skills that they have and the gaps that they have. Some have gone to go do that and start their own business, and they're doing well. And I follow up with them. I'm like, how's it going? Where are we at? Do you need anything? You know, and it goes well. Others like start in that path and they get a really good client, and the client's like, I need you here, and hires them in. And because it's a marketing skill, and I don't know, maybe we don't give them enough business background or savvy for them to go do it themselves, and that's on us. But most of the time they're wanting to go like have someone else take the risk while they're young, figure out the things that they don't know, and then go do whatever they want from there.
Interesting. So if any students are listening to this, like, you don't need that much business savvy. Like, you need to set up an LLC, which costs $69, I think, and then you have to renew. I think it's like $50 for renewal every year. The
students will listen better if you tell them it's $67.
Okay,
just 6-7.
Sorry, 6-7.
All right,
6-9 was us.
That was our generation.
That was our generation. Sorry, good old silly numbers. So $60, like whatever it is, you need to set up that LLC, and then this is coming from our accountant. Once you're making $30,000 in profit, that is when you need to switch your LLC to an S corp. That is all the business savvy you'll need if you are like a sole proprietor LLC. If you're a single member LLC, that's how I should say it. If you are a partner, what you need to do is you need to set up an LLC with your partnership, you and the other person. Make sure you have
Articles of
an operating
organization?
agreement.
Oh.
Make sure you have an operating agreement with each other. And then you, as an individual, need to set up your own LLC that you can then
Pay.
make an S Corp and pay from that company. That is the main business savvy that you need to have starting up your company. And the reason that I say that is it goes back to unsexy businessmen. Do you think I knew how to run a business? Like when I started doing stuff, like I didn't have to deal with payroll at 97th floor.
Yeah.
I didn't have to deal with taxes at 97th floor. You do go through like a little bit of these hard knocks when you start
Figuring it
going
out.
through it, but I am not a smart person. I know, like, and then the kind people are going to be like, "Oh, Alex, I think you're pretty smart." Like, yeah, I'm also not dumb. I know I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. But I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. And if you see the people who are running businesses, they're often not.
Yeah.
Like, don't think of Elon Musk. Like, don't think of these people. Like, don't think of the Bill Gates or the Steve Jobs or the people who are super brainiac, billionaire, trillionaire companies. Just look at your friend that owns a landscaping company. Look at your friend that owns a construction company, like whatever it may be. And I'm also not saying that those people are dumb. That's not like what the thesis is here. The thesis is
super
you
genius.
do not have to be a genius to start running a company. I personally think, and this is, everyone put on your tinfoil hats right now with me for a second, because I'm going to start going conspiracy here. I think that our system is set up to need as many workers as possible. I have employees. I need employees. So I understand that we need people who can do work for us. But I think we make business ownership scary, and we do the scary stat of 95% of businesses fail in 5 years so that we can keep people workers for as long as possible. I don't think it's hard. I don't think you should be afraid of it. Just try it. Especially, I don't know who listens to this, but like, I hope it's like 18 to 22-year-olds, 18 to 25-year-olds. Like, I started a business when I was 33 years old that is now valued at $2 million.
What if you started when you were 18?
If we sold it. If I would have started this earlier, where could we be, essentially? So, like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. Take that. Going back to the Indiana Jones, like, just take the leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Because so that came from like me asking that question to you of like what you're telling your students. And I think that is like a responsible thing to do. Like, you need to make sure that they have multiple opportunities that they can have. But I want people to get employed, live the life that they want to live, and ensure that they are making money to support those dreams. But I'm very passionate, as you can tell, I'm very passionate that doing your own thing is going to lead to a quality of life happiness that I don't think, and I'm not even there yet. I want people to know that, like, I'm not even to the point where I'm like 100% free of all of it. But when I saw that valuation thing, I was like, oh my gosh.
We could get there.
We're almost there. And it took 3 years.
Not that long. In the grand scheme of things.
Right, correct.
I mean, if you look at every day of those 3 years, there's probably a lot of pain, you're right. Like, we're not trying to say it's easy.
Yeah.
We're just saying it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Also don't want to make it seem like, oh, you're going to be
hard.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Like, there's times where you work really long hours, and then there's times where you don't.
Yeah.
And guess what? There's going to be times. Here's your little secret for you. Here's your secret. There's going to be times where you work a ton of time for other people.
Yep.
I don't know if that was ever your experience. Like,
Been there, done that.
But there was times where it was like, oh, this is going to be a 70-hour work week. Still getting paid the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I remember the first vacation, quote unquote, I took at 97th floor, because I love 97th floor. Great results only work environment. Not trying to say anything negative. I personally was worried about taking time off, right? And it was like, okay, I've got this scheduled out 3 months in advance. I'm going to be gone for a week. 2 weeks before we got 2 brand new clients. And so I had to do all the work of what was going to be like a 4-week project, so that when I got back, it was done in like 9 days.
Yeah.
And I do like 80-hour weeks to do it. And then I was sick my whole vacation because I had I'd gone too into the hole. You know what I mean? And so I,
To be
I
to
learned
be
my
fair,
lesson there.
that is very agency life.
It is
That is
agency
very
life.
agency life. So
Yeah,
to be well, like Jordan was
not
saying,
negative to 97th floor, and that was a personal choice I made. I
Yeah,
could have talked to my
right.
manager and been like, "Hey, I need some help here." I should have done that, but I was young and dumb
New.
and worried about what that would look like optically.
That's a
Right?
really good point that I also think students need to know is how much power they actually have.
Yeah.
I think when you get that first job,
You get worried.
you think like, oh my gosh, I can't
I'm
get
on the
any
chopping
other
block
job.
any day.
I know that there's a little bit of a negative thing to job hopping. Job hop as much as you want. You owe these people nothing. And then the way that, once again, another like scare tactic, like, well, somebody's going to look at your LinkedIn. And if they see that you've been job hopping, they're not going to hire you. Not the case.
Yeah.
Not the case. Like literally, if you interview well and you can show that you have the skills that they need and they're willing to pay that top dollar, take that top dollar and do whatever you want, man. The great lie, like loyalty to a company is the great lie. Like of W-2-ness or employership. Like you don't owe that. They don't owe you anything except a paycheck.
If you were gone, they'd replace you in a week.
Exactly. Yeah. Why do you like? That's like what's always. Why do you think it's 2 weeks notice? 2 weeks notice is not enough time at all for transitioning someone. But the reason that got set up is like, well, because we can replace you that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Do my fist waving. Companies.
So we talked kind of, biggest mistake is not hiring fast enough, and the skill set, either hiring too fast, not fast enough. Know your finances or hire someone to know your finances and be good with people. What's like the biggest mistake if someone has those two things figured out? What's the biggest mistake that happens?
Hiring and finances.
Yeah. So you say you've got these skill sets, you've got finance figured out, you don't hire too early and you don't hire too fast. What's the next like?
You're going to hate it. We've already talked about it. You're going to hate it because it's standard operating procedures.
Oh,
I don't know if that would be included with employees, like employee
yeah.
training and stuff like that, but it's not having everything documented on how you need to do every single thing.
Like clearly enough, like not knowing how to do it right, or what would you like clarify me on that?
Not doing it. Okay. I think a lot of companies
don't
do it at all. And then clarity, yeah, absolutely. And then refining them over. Like this isn't, I think
it's
that's
not
a big
one
mistake.
and done.
Like standard operating procedures, boom, we did it.
Yeah.
No. Like there are going to be changes. Your employees are going to find things that need to be changed. Yeah. You are going to be like, we just got a bad review. I need to figure out why we got the bad review on this. You're going to have new things that you're going to start doing. You're going to have new processes. Like thinking of the carpet cleaning that I own a part of, like they started doing window cleaning and then they started doing air duct cleaning. Like you're going to have other services that get added on.
And so you got to figure out
all
of that.
So the more clarity you have there and the more they're getting updated, the better. And that's why I go back to like automations. At Keystone, we have a 6-month. So we're in Monday.com, a project management tool, if you will, whatever. And every 6 months, the standard operating procedure sends out a notification to the entire team and says, does this need to be updated? And then we update it. And also, like, as I share that story, I also don't want anyone to think that I have perfected standard operating procedures, but I know that as we have built them out, it has made things run significantly more smoothly, especially when bringing on new people who are going to be doing work for us. Do you want another one? Do you want I feel like you want like a juicy. I feel like you want a juicy
make up another stat for us. That's what I want. I want you to make up another stat for us with something juicy.
So, it's funny. I'm doing a speaking thing at this place called at Stukin, and my entire thesis is that marketing jobs are going away. And then I looked up yesterday. And it's like, no, there's actually been like an 8% growth in entry-level marketing jobs. I'm like, that can't be true.
You're like, I'm making
it doesn't
up a
confirm
new
my
stat.
bias, so it isn't true. Because everything that I have seen, those positions aren't being hired. But anyway.
Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna tangent you now.
Okay.
Listen to this. So what I did when I first started was backlink building. None of my students are ever going to do that anymore.
Correct.
So I think that there are more entry-level jobs because it's moving up. So what they're hiring at entry level, you don't need the high skill set for anymore because AI will do this grunt work. A manager can train you on the better stuff now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna push back on your bias there. Stukin's right, or whoever it was that confirmed or disconfirmed
that
your
there
bias.
are new because they've eliminated
the
backlink entry level
the jobs that you and I did as entry level are dead.
Okay.
And so you're not wrong because like everything that I considered an entry level marketing job is either automated or like shipped overseas now.
Right.
Because it's
Okay.
just too much money for someone to do it here.
No, that sounds. I just going back to like my experience of like leaving my job at Mountain Land Technical College was like nobody does this anymore.
Mm,
Actually, can I ask you a question? Put
yeah,
you on the spot. I
please.
know that you wanted another juicy thing.
We'll get it eventually.
Do
We'll make up another
you
stat.
do you guys teach like outlines still, like making a content
No.
outline? Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel so vindicated. You're not the only person that said that.
Yeah.
So like, I love that this is now going to be live on the internet for everyone to see. It was like a big sticking point of mine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like my company does not do that. We don't need to do that. We don't even do keyword research anymore. I know it's
Really?
going to sound crazy to people
We still do that.
because we don't do
Please.
keyword research. We do research. We talk to our customers. So we talk to the sales team. We talk to the customers that we have. What are the problems that they have? What are the concerns? What are the problems that they're trying to solve with this product? And then that's how we create the content that we create, especially as people are going more towards answer engine optimization, AI optimization, whatever the F anybody wants to call it.
People are more aggressively though. All right.
People aren't like doing like their 3-word, 4-word, 5-word searches anymore. Everyone's searches are becoming incredibly long because they can. Because Gemini is part of Google.
Yeah.
Or I guess AI overviews. And then you have people who are using Perplexity, ChatGPT, whatever, Grok, whatever you're using. And they're like I don't have to be, because before the keyword made it so you could actually get a good answer in Google, like essentially Google sucked.
It was the gate.
Yeah, Google sucked.
The gate.
And so like you had to like, how specific can I be? Now you don't have to be super, you can actually, you don't have to be super specific in your keyword. You can be super specific in the problem that you have, where you're just like going through, like, I'm just going to give you all the information. Can you give me the answer back? So that's my long-winded way of saying, like, do I think keyword research is dead? Absolutely not. I think keywords have their place, but the content that we are creating now is, and this is what we should have always been doing. I just saw somebody's keyword research recently. I don't want to get like too much into it. And like I saw a keyword on there. I'm like,
that's so irrelevant.
Why?
Yeah.
And I know why. It's to get money from the person. Like, all right, we need to make 20 pieces of content a month. We need to make like whatever. So my big thing is like, just help people. Like we are now at a stage where we can help people a lot better and giving them all of the answers to all of the questions in one conversation.
Yeah. I was at Spark Together. When was this? 2 years ago?
Is that Spark Toro's
Spark
thing?
Toro, yeah. Rand Fishkin.
Yeah.
And one of the things they talked about, and he talks about this all the time on social media still and in his podcast, blogs, all that. But it's like marketing today and digital marketing 10 years ago, we were all about tracking. It was like visibility. You could monitor everything, right? Tracking is going away in the sense that you can directly tie every effort back with 100% accuracy. You can't anymore.
It's impossible.
It's not worth the effort to try to get there.
That's a better answer. Yeah.
You should try to get 70 to 80% there. Like, don't fly blind, but you can't rely on data the same way that we used to. And so now what you need to do is old school marketing. Know your audience, know their pain, understand where they're actually looking for you and what the buyer journey is. Like if you can understand your customers, socioeconomic and like how they live their life, how to speak to them, right? If you can speak to them well, you understand where they're making these purchase decisions and how they're considering these purchase decisions, you can own the market. And that's really the path digital marketing always should have been. But because we worked with algorithms and different things, like we had to go about it specific ways. Those specific ways are changing so drastically. It's like, let's go back to the old way. Like this is almost better than what we're doing from that perspective.
Dude, 100%, especially on the data side of things.
Yeah.
And what's hard though, especially anyone who ends up going to an agency, is now you have to retrain all of your clients on what really matters. When a client's like, organic is down 10%.
Revenue's up.
Right. Organic is down 10%. Our keywords are going down in SEMrush and in Ahrefs. Why are all of these things happening?
Yeah.
But I was like, are we making more money than we ever have in the entire company's history? Yes. Stuff is working. We'll figure it out. Like one of the things, I don't know if this is for everybody, but I saw it with 3 of the clients that we have. Our organic traffic was going down. but our direct traffic was skyrocketing. And we found the specific locations that it was skyrocketing from, and that these are where servers for a lot of the AI tools are housed. So we're getting a lot of direct traffic,
but it's actually
coming from the AI. I was like, oh my gosh, and now because like we've been an SEO agency for you, it's like, we don't really we just report on traffic to the website. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, thankfully we've taken over ads for a lot of clients too. So like the more it makes it a lot easier to be like, we are the sum of the whole because we're touching all of these different things.
Yeah.
But like, that was a really big learning curve for like clients where I'm just like, oh, like literally, he doesn't talk like this. He's like, why is our traffic down? It's more like that. He's like, why is our traffic down 10%? Just like, dude, direct is skyrocketed. And we're getting so many leads from it. I don't know why, but somehow we are being found. And now our revenue, like, we went from, I'm just going to give you some real numbers here. The only stats I care about are actual dollars.
Client numbers.
Actual dollars. I was like, all I know is in 2023, when you started with us, you guys were at, it was $11.8 million. And now 2025, we were closing out at $62.5 million. It was just like, whatever we're doing is working. And sorry, I should be even more clear. We do track. They have other channels, like, I don't want to give away too many specific other channels where they get leads from. That is specifically from the channels that we work on. And I was just like, you got to trust us. Like, I know that this is a little bit scary right now, going back to the Indiana Jones leap of faith. Like, you just got to trust me. You just got to trust me that what we are doing is working. It's why I hate tools.
Yeah.
Tools were set up to scare people and to make them think, this is why you're paying $100 a month for us. This is why you're paying $500 a month for us at Ahrefs. Because we're giving you the information that you wouldn't have otherwise. What do you think? Do you think those are going to start going away?
Aptly named tools, you know?
What do you think? Do you like I don't want to say mean things about anyone in specific, because I'm sure you're using some of those tools for free at UVU.
We are. Yeah. We're lucky.
But I just do not trust their data since
as much
AI.
Well, and the interesting thing we've seen, and I can't remember if it was August or September, Google did an update where they weren't letting non-Google bots scrape past like spot 20. So almost all of those tools crashed, had to like redo everything. And since that point, I don't know how much I can actually trust it. And what we've done now is kind of like, hey, Gemini, I know that you probably potentially have a backdoor to Google's information. Where should I go with this? Here's my problem. And just be as descriptive as you can, and then be like, how many keywords can you come up with that would target this? What's the keyword traffic? And it gives me information, and I spot check it, and it's not far off from any of my tools.
Okay.
Through Gemini.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So like, is it perfect? No. But you look at SpyFu, you look at Ahrefs, they're not the same. Like, none of the tools pull the information the same way. So I'm like, why pay for a tool when I can use AI?
And I partially hate that I asked the question, because we had just talked about how like the data, like focusing on data is not as essential as it was for us.
Being informed is, right? And confirming like, hey, is this a viable path? You don't know, I don't know. It feels right. It like, I'm putting myself in my customer's shoes. It sounds correct. Let's go see if there's anything to support that before you're just like, spend money here, spend money here. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to be, you want to still make informed decisions. Just take it with a grain of salt. No, it's not perfect. Yeah.
And if I can say anything, this isn't even data related, but whenever I'm like looking for people or when I hire them, I go back to I'm not the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
But like, there are some strategies we do that should not work. Specifically, I'm thinking of paid ads right now that have worked for us really, really well, and that are the stupidest things in the world, that I just, as a budding entrepreneur, was just like, I want to try this because we might lose this client if we don't start seeing leads.
Yeah.
And then, what is that? Necessity is the mother of all invention, right?
Yes.
And so we just started doing this thing, and then we took that process to another client, and it worked for them. Took it to another client, did not work. Then took it to another client, it did work for them. So I'm like, all right, so there's some sort of
secret
something.
sauce.
Yeah, there's something here.
We'll make
like
up a
I
stat.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I know it's working for these three, so we're going to continue to do
Yeah.
it for this, and it makes absolutely no sense. But so anyways, to tie it back to like what we're saying, the reason I'm sharing that is like it's why you can't just trust the tools. Like there has to be a little bit of human not just intuition, but a little bit of human evolution of like, I want to try something new, figure out whatever that new thing is.
And maybe this is true in business ownership, since I'm not a pansy, according to Alex. Thank you, Alex.
Welcome.
But
It's
I'm not,
literally the only reason Jordan brought me on. He's like,
I
can you
need
just tell
somebody.
everyone that I'm not a
slipped him
weakling,
50.
please?
I slipped him a 50.
This is going to
before
be a
we-
3-minute long podcast where it's just about that.
I'm going to post this on my LinkedIn.
All of this
That's going to be
all
just
of this
those
was
clips.
BS. The entire podcast isn't going to go
These
anywhere.
are actors, dude. I don't even work here.
Just
I
like,
just broke in
But
this
we
week.
did get that. Yeah, it's just on your cell phone. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
No.
Business owners, you're not a pansy.
Thank you. But it's in marketing, it's like not being afraid to just jump in and learn something. And when I was young in my early career, I was often like, okay, I need to go ask somebody. I need to go confirm this. And I was too nervous to just jump into it. And now I'm like, I can figure that out. Like I figured this out. I figured this algorithm change out eventually. It took time. I learned from others as I was going, but I know the proper channels to figure things out. It takes kind of the, I don't know, scariness away of just jump into the problem. Just start being a problem solver. And our students that are in here with us, I tell them all the time, like, if I teach you nothing else, I will teach you to be a critical thinker. Just think critically, use your brain, and you will beat 90% of people. Because most people just want to take either the guaranteed path, which is never guaranteed, or they want to take the easy path, which isn't that easy.
Right.
So you might as well just try hard on what you feel good about. And then at least if you fail, you're like, well, I did my best.
I'm not even sucking up. That's the most important advice that anyone can get.
Agreed.
100%. That and how you framed it too, where it's like there were things that I was scared of, and then I just started like jumping into it. Like you jumping into the deep end is going to teach you so much faster than going to Joe at 97 Floor and be like, hey, this SEO thing, I got this question about SEO for you. And then it's an algorithm and it's gamified. What Joe is doing for his clients might not work for your clients.
Yeah.
So then you go to someone, that thing doesn't work for him. Now you think Joe's making up stuff, like has no idea what he's talking about. And that's why it's so important to like do things on your own, because it's like you said in your thing where it's just like the safe path isn't always going to work.
Right.
So
Right.
I love that 100%.
Yeah. Dude, I think our time is coming to a close. Is there anything else that we need to touch on before we wrap up?
3 things.
I love it.
Jordan's not a pansy.
Yes.
2, if you have no dependents,
take all the risks.
if you have very few dependents, take as many risks as you can right now in your life. And then I think I would end with that last thing that you had right there, which is just don't be afraid to try things. Just try, iterate. Do you think I was an ads expert? Actually. Do you think I was an ads expert when I started Keystone?
Hell no, dude. Absolutely not.
Did I become one? I don't think I'm an expert, but I am pretty
freaking
darn
close.
good at it
at
this point from all of the testing that I'm doing. And once again, that's not to like toot my own horn or anything like that. It's just like, I have seen it. I have seen that taking risks and trying to figure out stuff on your own, not only does it grow you, but it can also help you achieve whatever financial goals that you're looking to accomplish in your life as well. So those are the 3 things that I wanted to make sure I was very clear on. Do stuff for yourself. Believe in yourself. Jordan's not a pansy.
Yes. Excellent. Awesome. Thanks, Alex. We'll have to have you on again.
Thanks.
This
Great.
was too much fun.
Yeah.